Okay, assalamualaikum everyone. Last week we have discussed the structure of virus and the structure of bacteria and fungi. So for revising it, I'm just telling you again that a virus is the smallest of all microorganisms. And what are microorganisms? Microorganisms are those which are not visible to the naked eye. They are too small to just see it with the help of with the naked eye. For that, we need special equipment like light microscope, or it could be a electron microscope for much smaller objects. So what are the characteristics? Viruses are very small in size. They contain the nucleic acid, double-stranded DNA or single-strand DNA or RNA. They have a protective coat or the protein coat, and coat means to protect it. To protect the genetic material which is inside. This genetic material is helpful for duplication. Okay. The other most important characteristic of virus is that they cannot be classified as living or non-living, because outside the living cell they are totally inactive. But as they attack the living cell, they become active and start their function of reproduction. That is, they replicate. Replicate means they produce their exact copy. Okay. Basically, they are parasites. They live on the host cell by harming it, and finally, the host cell dies because of the virus, because the virus affects the cell to produce the protein for that virus, and as a result of which the host cell die. And all the viruses which are produced inside the living cells, they are releases from the living cell. There are many diseases which are caused by the viruses, like the most important, the common disease right now, the pandemic, COVID-19, and influenza virus, HIV, AIDS. So there are lots of diseases caused by the viruses, and these viruses are not treated by the antibiotics. Antibiotics are only meant for bacterial infection. Next comes the bacteria. Bacteria are bigger than the viruses, with different size ranges. They are unicellular. They have cell wall. They have genetic material inside the cell wall, but no nuclear membrane. As they have no nuclear membrane, they are known as prokaryotes. Prokaryotes means primitive, the organism having primitive nucleus. Okay, these bacteria have different modes of nutrition, like they are parasites. Parasites means they harm the host cell and make it weak or sometimes destroy it. And the other mode of nutrition in bacteria is that they are saprophytes. Saprophytes means they live on dead material, and they change the complex organic compound into simple organic compound, and they absorb the nutrients, and these nutrients are sometimes mixed with the soil and make it fertile. In nitrogen cycle, these all symbionts or saprophytes are involved, okay, to maintain the nitrogenous component of the earth. And then comes the autotrophic bacteria. These autotrophic bacteria are capable of producing their own food with the help of some chemicals inside their body, and these chemicals help them to produce their food. That's why they don't have to adopt any other mode of nutrition. These bacteria causes many diseases to living organisms, like diarrhea and other infections as well, or they are killed by the antibiotics. Antibiotics are only helpful in curing the bacterial infection. The question answer session will be held after the delivery of the lecture. So that's why Mashal said, just wait for a little while so that I can deliver the lecture. Okay. Then comes the fungi. The fungi are larger than bacteria and visible to the naked eye. Only for yeast we need the microscope to see the development of yeast, but for fungi like mushrooms and molds, which is commonly known as papuri, we can see them with the naked eye. Okay, so these fungi don't have chlorophyll. That's why they have the saprophytic mode of life. That is, they live on the dead material and take the nutrients from the dead material by decaying it, converting the complex material into simple form, and then absorbing it. The body is spread through a thread-like structure called as mycelium, just like the branches, and they have hyphae as well for absorbing the nutrients. The cell wall is made up of fungus cellulose. That's why it is different from the plant cell, because the cell wall is composed of fungus cellulose. Okay, they reproduce by means of spore. The body of fungus have a sporangium which burst open to release spores. These spores are spread by the air, and wherever they fell, it develops into a new fungus. That's why this mold spreads so fast. Then I discuss the advantages and disadvantages of the microbes or microorganisms as well. Viruses, they are only the cause of disease producing, but some of the viruses can, through biogenetic engineering, they can be used as a vector as well. Then comes the bacteria. Bacteria is also used as a vector. A human insulin gene, which is a protein gene, is inserted in the bacteria, and then this bacteria is used to produce human insulin. Other importance of bacteria is they use in the making of yogurt, they are helpful in the making of cheese. And the other importance of fungi is that they are helpful in the making of cheese. The fungi are helpful in the rising of dough, the pizza dough, the bread dough. The fungi are helpful in the fermentation process, that is the production of alcohol. Fungi, as they respire anaerobically. Now, there comes the industrial biotechnology. The industrial biotechnology is a process by which the different products from the microorganisms are produced, like which we have discussed: the yogurt, the bread, the pizza dough, the alcohol, and then the single cell protein. Single cell protein are the sources of protein other than the protein products which we get from the animals. They are less calories. That's why they are used by the calories conscious people. For that, industrial biotechnology fermenters are used. In this session, we are going to discuss the production of antibiotic penicillin in the fermenter. So the video I've shared in the homework section is all about the fermenter, that what is the structure of fermenter and what is the function of different things that are present in the fermenters. So when we are talking about the fermenters, a fermenter has a cooling jacket that cools down the temperature of the fermenter. There is a motor above the fermenter that revolves, and there is a upside, there is an opening from where the contents, which contains the nutrients and the microorganism mixtures, the nutrient growth and the microorganisms enters from that side. In the fermenters, they are allowed to and to multiply for some period of time. As they started to multiply,
Excuse me, miss.
what happens, Radhe?
Miss, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. लेकिन मिस आपकी ऑडियो बिल्कुल क्लियर नहीं है, आपकी आवाज बहुत अटक रही है.
अच्छा, अगर मेरी आवाज अटक रही है तो डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. अगर ये सेशन में अगर आप कोई चीज मिस करते हो तो सेशन will be uploaded on the SGHS YouTube channel. You can watch me over there again and you can listen to the lecture again and again so that you can hear all the things. Even okay, all the time you can listen to the lecture again and again over there as well. YouTube channel of SGHS.
Okay.
Subscribe the channel. Okay, subscribe the channel. Yes, Ovis, what's the reason? Ovis.
Yes.
Do you want to ask something?
Sorry, miss, you are audible again.
Okay, beta, that's why I'm saying that again and again. You can watch me again. You can revise the lecture by subscribing the SGHS YouTube channel. Okay?
Okay, sure.
Okay. If there is any interference during the lecture, don't worry about that. You can watch me again on the YouTube SGHS channel. Can I continue with the lecture?
Yes, miss.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and there is an opening. There is an opening for the oxygen as well. If the microorganism inside the fermenters, if they're respiring aerobically, that is in the presence of oxygen, and oxygen pipe is there to enter the oxygen all the time. And this oxygen is also helpful to make the bubbling up in the nutrient growth, and so that the contents can be mixed in some of the fermenters. But in this type of fermenter which we are discussing right now, the propellers are here, which makes the nutrient growth. As the organisms multiply rapidly, it causes the increase in temperature as well, and they are respiring. It releases the heat energy in the jacket, and for that reason, there is importance of maintaining the pH. pH means the acidic or alkaline level, which is helpful, which is favorable for the production of that sort of microorganism inside the fermenter is necessary. Okay, and the temperature should be maintained for the favorable production of the microorganism inside the fermenter. Okay, so. In some of the fermenters, there is a continuous changing of the nutrient growth and the removal of the previous broth. And some of the fermenters, there is no need for changing the broth. Okay? So, what is the importance of using the fermenters? In the fermenters, the microorganisms can grow rapidly, and the cheap culture medium can be used, and genetic engineering can also be manipulated through the help of fermenters. And it is helpful in making the non-toxic products. So one more thing which I forgot to tell you is that these fermenters are sterile. Sterile means that they are kept in the condition that no other microorganism can grow in it. Only the microorganism which we want to grow. Only that sort of microorganism can grow. Other microorganism cannot grow in it. That's why these fermenters are kept sterile. Okay. So I will sum up this lecture with the help of you people because only 5 minutes are left. 4 minutes are more to go. That's why I will ask you people to on your mic and ask me the question, or maybe I'm going to ask you the question for summing up the lecture. So please on your mic. I'll ask you the question one by one. Yes, Shanze, do you have any question?
No, miss.
Nothing?
Miss,
Yes, Ovis?
Miss, what was the topic actually about?
This topic is actually about revising the chapter microorganism.
Okay, until where have we covered?
We have covered the whole chapter because last week I have covered viruses, bacteria, and fungi in detail with the help of videos as well. And in this chapter, I just sum up. I'll just give you the recap.
Okay, ma'am, as per the assignment, like the vacation assignment is concerned, it was similar to the paper we had attempted. So is it necessary to be doing that assignment?
Yeah, beta, just repeat it again and again so that you people are prepared for your upcoming exams in future. I want you to practice more and more.
Okay, sure, thanks.
Okay, yes, Musham, any question? Musham, are you there?
बस अभी तक तो कुछ भी नहीं है मगर आपकी आवाज इट वाज लिटरली नॉट क्लियर थोड़ा थोड़ा समझ में आया है बाकी मैं देख लूंगी
Acha, Musham and Shante, I want to have extra class with you people as well. Decide yourself, both of you. Communicate yourself so that I can take a session with you all together. So that I want you, two of you to come up to the level of O3. Are you willing to have that?